Welcome to Lightroom, and today I'm going to show you this really cool little trick. So inside of Photoshop, when you make an adjustment, you can then go in and dial back the opacity if the adjustment you made ends up being too strong. Now, the issue is inside of Lightroom, you have no opacity sliders, so you can't dial that back. Or can you? So I'm going to show you this cool little trick. So inside of Lightroom, we've got this image, and I'm going to go over here to the adjustment brush tool, but you can do this with the graduated filter or radial filter or anything like that. Now I'm going to kind of mess this photo up by doing this, but it's still going to give you an idea of what you need to do. So this image has already been toned, and so we're going to go backwards instead of forwards on this image. So let's reset this. Come up here to effect, and you just double click effect, and that will reset all your settings. So we've got our adjustment brush, and I'm just going to start dialing in some effects here. Looks pretty good. Now I'm just going to go here, I'm going to brush it into the whole photo. So we're just doing an adjustment effect, but it's the whole photo. All right, and that looks like it's affected the whole photo. So let's say I've done this effect and I've brushed it in, and I'm like, yeah, you know what? It's a little bit too much. I could come in here and start dialing each one of these little sliders and kind of dial them back until I get it where I want. Or if you come over here, this is your highlighted point for your adjustment. If you hover over it, it gives you this overlay. But if you hold the Alt Option key, you'll now notice that your little symbol changes to this arrow that will let you slide left and then right. So if I click and hold with my mouse, so I've got my hand on the Alt and Option, my left hand, my finger is going to keep that button held down, and then I click hold and slide to the left. You can see it's changing, it's dialing out what I did. And if I go right, something you can't do in Photoshop is actually add more of the effect to it. As I do this, you'll also notice that my little sliders over there on the right-hand side are moving as I slide left and right. So not only am I dialing out the opacity, it's also just self-adjusting all the little sliders, and I can get this to exactly where I want. And if I want to do it again, all I have to do is hold the Alt Option key, and then I can just start dialing my sliders. And then once I get the image looking exactly how I want, I'm good to go. Hopefully you enjoyed that cool little trick inside of Lightroom. If you have any other comments or questions, you can leave those below. And as always, don't forget to subscribe.